We're back again for a third time. I don't know what's going on in my internet tonight. We're getting pretty close to the end though, so I'm hoping that we can just get through this without it happening again. I just did a hard reset of everything, so that should do it. Turn it off and on again. What happened? I didn't realize that the screen was out, honestly, and we got our next villain in Crisis ready. I didn't go into it yet. It was just when I was going into the turn that I realized it's cut out. So we have Psychic Static and Superwoman. So Psychic Static, we're going to give cat-like reflexes to. I have to play Flight. It can't contribute a card that we set aside for this turn because it never enters your hand. But we get to draw a card for that. 2 power, destroy the weakness we gained. We gained a weakness because we couldn't defend against Superwoman. Yikes. So 2 power. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's look at this. We'll leave it there. 8 power, 12 power. We get something from the destroyed pile. Let's get a superpower that we actually could use. Looking for a superpower. It's been a while. Savagery is a great one. Dark Arts has its uses. Scientific Genius, even better. So let's go... let's go Savagery. It's cheap and we can do what we have to get it up to power. So we have 12 here. We're going to get rid of Black Briar Thorn for 3. So we have 9 left over and we get a victory point for that. We're going to buy Animal Man for ourselves, bring us down to 5. And I don't think there's any block cards out there. No block cards. We'll buy... I want Telepathy really, but I think we should spend the whole 5 and get Water Control. We'll probably destroy it, but just in case we need the defense, we'll have it. Okay. There we go. There's no stack ongoing ability, so we can just continue. We will give it Impervious. That's a good idea. We can draw 2 cards. We're going to draw 2 more cards. We're going to draw another card. 2, 3, and draw a card. We're going to give it Cold Breath. That's 3 non-kick superpowers. So that's the end of Psychic Static. And we have 1, 2, 3 power here so far. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're going to set this aside for next turn. With that 9, we're going to buy Cold Breath to replace the one we just lost. And we'll buy Telepathy, because I want it. So there's still a few things in here that are expendable in this deck, and that's fine. We're looking to take on Superwoman this turn, hopefully. Let's see if we can make that happen. New card comes out. It is Pots. It's a block card, so she would really cost 15 instead of 13. Considering what we've gone up to in some of these hands, that's not so bad. What do we have? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're not going to do a confrontation, but we are going to use Circe's ability to put Parasite aside for next turn. Because we can turn a confrontation card into an assist card. There we go. We'll spend telepathy, play telepathy, 2 power. You may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. We'll discard Black Orchid to draw Hera. Kind of wish I didn't now. But we'll do it again. 2 power. This time we'll discard a Mesovirus to draw another card. Kind of wish I didn't again. Oh well. Alright, 2. Put a card into my hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 power. Well, we'll get rid of Pots, leaving us with 8. We'll get Crown of Atlantis, leaving us with 4. And we'll get Marrow, leaving us with 0. I do like those Aquaman cards. I'm really hoping that Superwoman goes away this turn. Let's see what we got. There's no block cards out there. And we're looking at a pretty good hand here. Yeah, 2. Yeah, we're going for it. Superwoman, Confrontation, let's go. Let's start with LexCorp with the ability to put an assist card at the bottom of our deck. Let's put Superboy down there, I think. Then we'll play Joker's Daughter, drawing 2 cards. We'll play Flight, drawing another card. 1 Power of Feora, drawing another card. 2/3, we can destroy a card over here. We can say goodbye to Black Orchid. We've got enough defense cards floating around. So we're at 3 power. 4, 5, and +1 for each villain over here. 6. 7, 8, and +1 for each superpower. 9. 10, 11. 12. 13, 14, 15. We can destroy a card in our hand. And 1 over here as well. And also 1 in the lineup. We'll get rid of Telepathy. And we'll get rid of Eclipso here. I wonder if we got rid of him too early. He might have still been out there when we got rid of the Crisis. I'm not sure. Whoops. If that's the case, sorry. So 15 is what we got. That's enough to get rid of Superwoman, obviously. And we'll move on to our second to last villain. So we're getting pretty close to the end here. And I'm very glad that we got rid of Permanent Eclipse very early. Releasing the Prisoners. Put the top card of the main deck into the lineup. We're going to do 2, 1 for the Crisis, 1 for the turn. When a villain enters the lineup from the main deck, put a random villain from the destroyed pile in the lineup. Contribute 4 cards with cost 4. Grid. I have no defense. Each player reveals and gains the top card of the main deck. Discard a number of cards equal to the cost of the card gained this way. Ooh, we have to discard 6 cards. And I don't even want the card we gained. So that's really bad. So we already did a card for the turn, so a card for the next turn, that's a villain, which means you have to add a random villain from the destroyed pile to the lineup as well. And that was not great. Just gonna actually put that down here. So we need 4 cost cards. That's what we need here. 4 cost ones. Shuffle that up. Let's get a villain out. It's Shadow Thief. Put it down here. Alright. So, shuffle everything up, get a new hand going. We need 4 cost cards. Sure, here's Superboy and Atlan. That's 2. Draw 2 cards. 1 and draw another card. Draw another card. 5, we'll get a card from the destroyed pile. Don't get too attached. We're going to get something of cost 4, like the Daily Planet here. Then we're going to use the Deep here to discard Cut John Constantine, put that into our hand, and contribute it to Releasing the Prisoners. That's 4 cards that cost 4. That's only 3 right now. So we're at 5 power. We'll use that to say goodbye to Shadow Thief, leaving us with 2 power. 3, 4, 5, 6, goodbye to Firstborn. That's 2 victory points, and we didn't get 1 for defeating Superwoman either. So that's actually 3 victory points. In fact, I'll just grab a 5 and get rid of 2 of these. Okay, not bad. Oh, before we end the turn, let's do Amnesty Bay. Look at these 3 cards, keep the lowest cost one in my hand. It's a cost 4. It is, in fact, Water Control. That's contributed. That is the end of Releasing the Prisoners. I'm so glad I took the time to check that. So glad. Alright, so now it's just Grid, and then we're on to Crisis Mazah. I think we're good. I think we're going to go for the Crisis. So we're going to use LexCorp first. There's no block cards, right? No, no block cards. So we will put an assist card at the bottom of our deck. Then we'll use Hera to draw 2 cards. We're going to use Globe of Transportation on the Deep to get 6 cost worth of cards from over here. Crown of Atlantis is tempting me. But we're going to go with John Constantine. I don't have anything else, unfortunately. So we're at 0 power, but that's 2 and +1 for each villain. 3, 4, 5, 6 power. Draw 2 cards. +1 for each card type in my discard pile. 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, let's look at this. We don't need that, it can go to the bottom. Look at the top 2 cards of our deck. You know, before we do that, let's do Cold Breath. That's 15, we can destroy a card in our hand, discard pile, and lineup. We're going to destroy Globe of Transportation over here. In the lineup, let's say goodbye to Tegroff. And in our hand, we're good. So again, we are at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was at 9, 10, 11, I believe. 14. Draw 3 cards. Destroy 1 of them. Of these, I'll destroy Feora. 15, 16, 20. Get a card from the destroyed pile. Atlan was pretty powerful. Yeah, we'll use him, Atlan. So there's that. 17, and then 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. We have 21. That's more than enough to beat Grid. We have 10 left over, but there's no block cards to buy anyway. So we're good there. This is just night and day compared to some of my other games I did for this round. Night and day. There's our next hand. No defense, but there's no attack on this Crisis either. I'm sorry, no attack on this villain anyway. Villains in control. Non-villain cards cannot be bought. Villains in the destroyed pile may be bought. Contribute 3 villains. Very well. And then we have to discard a card at the start of each of our turns. That determines the cost of Crisis Mazah. So we'll discard Apollo. We need to give up 3 villains. That's fine. We're going to give up Doomsday because we've got all the destruction we need. Then we'll draw 2 cards. Joker's Daughter is really useful, so she's not going to be one of the ones that we do. Draw 2 more cards. Oh no, it's just 2 power, sorry. 2, 4. Look at this, that can stay there. Draw a card. 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 power. I can only buy villains. So, let's get black mana back. I have 7 left over now. We'll get Siren for 3, leaving us a 4. We'll take Metallo, I think. Ooh, or superpower. I think we'll go Metallo. There we go. As a bunch of villains gained. We'll keep going. New card comes out. We can gain a card from the destroyed from our discard over here. Actually, before we do that, instead we are going to discard Apollo for the deep to get 7 cost worth of cards from over here, and we'll get Siren and Metallo. And we're going to give both of those to villains in control. That's 3 villains. 3 power here. 7, we buy Artemis, which is destroyed now that the crisis is gone. So, I'm sorry, we were at 3, 7, we still have 4 power left. That is the final crisis gone. Forgot to discard a card at the beginning of the turn, so we're just not going to go any further than that. I could have gotten the power either way, that's not the problem, so we'll be okay. Didn't cheat or anything. Still have this block card out here too, so you have to get rid of Orion before we go on anyway. So this won't be the turn we get rid of Crisis Mazab, but we do still need to discard a random card. It is a villain. Okay. Let's draw 2 cards. We're going to give Amazovirus up for Circe's ability for next turn, hopefully. Then it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll use that to get Orion. I think that's all the block cards out there. We've got Amazovirus set up for next turn. New card comes out. Trident of Neptune, which is useful. We are discarding a villain. So if we're discarding a villain, get my handy dandy little notepad here. He normally costs 14. There's no villains in the lineup, so it's just the ones over here we're counting. So he normally costs 14. For this turn, he'll cost 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. All right, the highest I had this game so far was 36, and he's going to cost 34 right now. That's a lot. Let's put that aside for now. Can we get there this turn? Let's see. We can draw two cards of our choice. You know what? We're going to push it. We're going to try. We're going for the confrontation. I don't know if it's going to work, but we'll see. We'll start with LexCorp, put an assist card at the bottom of our deck. Okay. Then we'll go with Apollo, putting 2 cards of our choice into our hand. Then we'll go with Amazovirus, drawing 3 cards and destroying one of them. We'll destroy... We'll destroy this flight. All things considered, I don't think it's the best one for this turn. Okay, then Bizarro drawing 2 more cards. Joker's Daughter drawing 2 more cards. Let's go now with John Constantine, 2 power. So that's our first 2 power, plus 1 for each villain over here. That's 3, 4 power. 5, 6. Let's look at this. Yeah, we'll put that on the bottom. So we still have the deep available to us. Just looking at my options. We're going to drop Cold Breath to get both of these villains into my hand. So that's still 6 power right now, right? So 2, 4. There is 2 villains over here, so that's 5, 6 power. 7, 8 plus 1 for each superpower. That's 9, 10. $11, 12. I played in equipment. I can destroy a card in my hand or discard pile. We'll get rid of Mara. She's not going to do anything for us. That's 12. All right. 13, 14, and draw a single card. $15, 16, 17. We can get a card from the destroyed pile. What do we want? I want this one for 1 victory point. So we're at 17. There we go. Draw 2 cards. There's 1. That's going to be the second one we draw. 18 plus 3 is 21. 24. 25. Spend the victory point to get to 26, 27. So we're at 27 power. Ooh, this is where it gets tough. Atlan. Draw a card. There's nothing to draw, unfortunately, but he's +1 for all the cards we've drawn so far. So 27, then gonna count all the draws. This was draw 3, so that's 30, 32. There's another 2 here, so that's 34, 35 with Orion. 36, 37 of Joker's Daughter. We're there. And then a bunch more power here. That is way more than enough to defeat Crisis Mazah. So this was a very, very different game than my first 2. That's a pretty reasonable sized deck for the end of a Crisis 3 game at the end. Even a little better than reasonable, as far as at least my usual Crisis.